Hi, my name is Danielle. Today I'm going to talk to you about downshifting. What do I mean by that? Sometimes we find ourselves breathing really quickly, feeling anxious or stressed or even excited about something. Sometimes it's really important to take a few minutes and downshift. What I mean by that is to relax a bit, is to settle down, begin to take some deeper breaths. And by doing so, we can find ourselves feeling a little more relaxed. This has really good benefits, not only for your mind, but for your body as well. So in the next few minutes, I'm going to explain that and show you how you can do this nice and simply by yourself. And all you need is a place to sit down. I like to sit on the floor and I use a blanket underneath me. That helps me feel a little more comfortable. But you can sit on any chair, on the couch, on a bed. Doesn't matter. So take the next few moments to find a comfortable seat for yourself. You may want to shift around a little bit and then begin to settle in. I like to place my palms on my lap and begin to sit up tall. So we're sitting upright, but we're not uptight. So you can relax your shoulders. You can relax your jaw. Sometimes when I feel stressed or anxious, I'm gripping in my mouth, right? Clenching my teeth, and I don't even realize it. So maybe open your mouth and move your jaw around a little bit. And then let your tongue fall into the bottom of your mouth and notice the space between your back teeth. If you would feel comfortable, I'd like you to close your eyes, but if you'd rather not, that's okay. Just look a little bit ahead of you and soften your gaze. And so we begin to focus more on what's going on inside of us and not what's going on outside of us. And if you do have your eyes closed, can you start to soften your eyes that are behind those closed lids? So softening the muscles that are always focusing on what's in front of us. And it's almost as if we're beginning to look inside and start to notice how we're feeling right in this moment. And we're not labeling how we're feeling as good or bad. We're just starting to notice what it feels like to be you in this snapshot of time. You also may start to notice sensations in your body. Any areas that may feel really tight and tense. Maybe you move your fingers a bit if you're gripping with your hands. Maybe you soften your shoulders a little bit more to move out any tension that you may be feeling at the back of your neck or in your upper back. And you can feel yourself sitting either on the floor or in your seat. Notice what's beneath you that's holding you here, nice and steady. So maybe you feel the ground or you feel a cushion underneath you. You start to allow yourself to feel heavy in that seat, right? Not slumping. We're keeping our spines nice and long and upright, but we feel grounded on whatever we're sitting on. And at the same time, we can feel that from the top of our heads, the crown of our heads, that we're lifting up, right? So we're sitting here proudly, chest is open, lifting from the top of your head, but also feeling super grounded and comfortable in our seats. And start to notice what your breath is like in this moment in time. Have you been breathing very short, shallow breaths right in the top of your chest? And just notice what that feels like to be breathing in that way. When we breathe those rapid breaths in the upper part of our torso, that can perpetuate stress. So sometimes the stress causes us to breathe these quick breaths. Then the more we do it, the more we continue the stress. And so begin to feel that you're sending your inhales down lower than the upper part of your chest, down into the lowest part of your belly. And sometimes I find it helpful to place a palm or both palms on my belly. And it helps me send my inhale all the way down there. Maybe you start to notice if your breath feels warm or cool, and what the texture of it is. And so often in life we forget that our breath is always with us. But we get so busy in our day-to-day doings that we forget it's there and that we can slow it down and begin to downshift like we would be doing if we were in a car, let's say, and start to slow the gears down. Starting to take some deeper, nourishing breaths. Each inhale is bringing in new energy and a softness to the body. And you can feel now your chest and your belly and your ribs lifting as you breathe in and then deflating as you breathe out. It's as if now your whole body was breathing, right? Not just the uppermost part of your chest. Your shoulders are soft, and there's space at the front of your throat and at the back of your neck. Your hands are soft on your lap. And your shoulders are away from your ears. Now you may find that your mind is going to start to travel to the future, to the past, maybe to a grocery list or a phone call that you need to make. And that's totally normal. That's what our minds are designed to do. But you have the ability to bring your attention away from that thought and back to your breath, even if it's just for a moment. Sometimes I like to imagine when I come back to those thoughts that they're like leaves floating down in a stream. So maybe I notice a leaf flowing by, but then I come back to feeling my breath down deep into the pit of my belly. And so we're just doing our best when our mind takes us away from this moment to come back to focusing on the breath. And often it can be really useful to breathe into a count of, let's say, 3 or 4, and then a slow count out to 5 or 6. And so the number really doesn't matter. What we're doing though is beginning to lengthen the exhale a little longer than the inhale. This furthers our ability to downshift. So a soft, slow inhale to 4. And a soft, slow exhale to 6. Just finding this steady, comfortable breathing pattern. And as we begin to further lengthen the exhale, you may begin to notice very physical changes in your body. Your heart rate is going to slow down. Your blood pressure is actually going to slow down. And your body is going to stop producing stress hormones and chemicals that really aren't that good for us, right? And don't feel so great. And then what's so amazing is that you can elicit this all on your own by slowing down your breath. This is called the relaxation response. We begin to break the cycle of stress and rapid breathing and stress and rapid breathing, which really isn't very good for our bodies, right? Or our hearts. And softening your forehead, even softening your cheekbones. Soft and comfortable, steady breaths. Just a few more. Allowing any thoughts to be those leaves floating by. You can notice them, acknowledge them. And then come back to your breath count. Inhale to 4. And exhale to 6. And now you can gently begin to come back to the present moment. Maybe you open your eyes. Keep breathing in a steady, comfortable pace. Maybe start to notice how you're feeling now. And remember that you can come back to this sort of breath at any time during the day or at night. Sometimes this can be helpful. And know that if it's not easy to find a comfortable seat, you can also do this standing or lying down. Thank you so much for sharing in this practice with me today. Have a great rest of your day, friends.